Yeah, so after the main session, we'll stop the recording and move on to the Q&A session. First of all, let me introduce ourselves, the faculty member of GAP. I'm Chiaki Haibara, a lecturer here at GAP. I'm a practitioner working mainly with installation art, using various media such as video, sculpture, and two-dimensional works. Depending on the issues at the time, I also take a project-based approach to my practice. Before introducing the rest of the team, I'd like to share an important news. From April 2026, we'll be welcoming a new associate professor, Ryu-hei Kan. He couldn't be here today since he'll be joining from April, but he's also an active practitioner. And today, Associate Professor Chiaki Soma, she's currently in China for another job, and she's unable to join us today. She is an art producer and curator, founder, and representative director of NPO Arts Commons Tokyo, which has presented a number of outstanding works to the public. All right, I'll now pass the microphone to Professor Lee Mina. Would you mind giving a quick self-introduction?
Okay. Hello, everyone. Hi. My name is Mina Lee. I'm a professor of GAP. I am in charge of GAP seminar classes and a very special study trip to Nara and Kyoto for our Kobijutsu Kenkyū Ryoko. It is a curriculum for M2 students. And I had worked in the public modern museum in Japan for over 24 years. So my background is a curator of the institutional museum and art historian. And in my career, I have often deal with modern Asian art history. So modern Asian art history is very much related to the history nowadays. So I'm really looking forward to seeing you and sharing the issues we have now, especially in Asia. Thank you.
Thank you
And
very much.
so,
So, would you be
so
able to talk now, Hikaru-san?
Okay, nice to meet you. I'm Hikaru Fuji. I'm an artist, and I mainly work with installation, film, and participatory project, something workshop. I'm interested in how are connected with history and society. And in my class, art practice, we do research and think critically about social and historical issues to understand how past and present problem shape the way we see the world. And today, for example, in one class, we will shoot the film with a professional camera operator, and sound engineer about thinking today's crisis, democracy, and the war. Yeah, it is very deep and difficult question, but we try to thinking about this problem, global issue. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Hikaru-sensei. I'd also like to mention one of our professors who will be stepping down at the end of this academic year. Professor Yusaku Imamura is not he's not able to be joined today, but Hiraku Sensei, he's in the session. So would you mind introducing yourself?
Okay, thank you. My name is Hiraku Suzuki, and now associate professor at GFP. And I'm an artist. Basically, work in the wide ranging of media, such as two-dimensional work, sculpture, installation, video, and performance, and also I write. But all my practice is based on drawing in expanded notion. And through my work, I'm exploring the potentiality of lines, which connect the different spheres or different disciplines. And so in that sense, I work on a lot of collaborative projects with the artists from a lot of different genres, such as musicians, dancers, architects, designers, and so on. Yes. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, and today an assistant professor is also joining the session. Could you introduce yourself, Shoutai?
Yes, thank you, Chiaki Sensei. Hello, everyone. My name is Tao Xiaotai, and I'm originally from China. So now I'm working as the project assistant professor here in GAP, and I also studied in GAP before, and I graduated from here 3 years ago. Now I'm helping all the faculties and other professors and teachers in GAP. Yeah, hope to maybe if some of you ask for the campus tour, or if some of you have the opportunity to visit us during the Todide Geisai, maybe we can meet in person. Yeah, very hope to see you then. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Then additionally, the GP is also supported by instructors and assistants. You can find more information about them on the GP website. So please take a look after this session. Yes. So, excuse me. I'd like to talk a bit about GAP before explaining the entrance exam. GAP is characterized by 4 key visions. Right now, I'm just showing you the headings. If you're thinking about applying, please take a look at the offshore GAP website for more details. And just to add, GAP students come from many kind of regions like China, South Korea, Iran, Israel, Russia, Philippines, Netherlands, Congo, Seychelles, and more. They also have diverse backgrounds, not just in making art, but in fields like curating, sociology, and music, and landscape architecture, and communication design, so on. But what they all have in common is a strong desire to think through the dialogue with peers and the back and forth between various discourse and their own hand on making. I'd like to share what we are looking for in a student. You can find this text in GAP website as well. Basically, it's about listening to and respect others' voice, actively exchanging ideas, and thinking about what perspective you stand from in the society and what kind of narrative you can create. And these are requirements for completion of GAP MFA. You can choose and submit one of the three methods: artwork and essay, artwork and thesis, or thesis only. If you are willing to graduate with only thesis, please make sure to consult with a GAP professor by September after you start. And just keep in mind that even after consulting, approval for graduation by thesis is not guaranteed. And I'd like to share about special features of GAP curriculum. GAP will accept international students making up at least 1/3 of the total 18 students. The academic calendar of TUA includes holidays, but sometimes special program like the unit program with overseas institution are held during those holidays. GAP located in Toride campus, and there are several technical workshops organized by material or technique. You will be able to use the kind of large equipment while receiving guidance from the technical instructors. And I'd like to share about preliminary consultation for applicants with disabilities. Our curriculum has some special features, as I mentioned, so it might take a little time to prepare and plan individual support for each student. If you need any special accommodations for the exam or enrollment, please be sure to contact in advance via email. The email address is gap.exam@ml.gaidai.ac.jp. Also, if you have any long-term medicine conditions, it's good idea to reach out to the faculty early on after passing the exam. Okay, then today's session is about the entrance exam, but we will hold an on-campus tour and an informative session about GAP at Toride campus in November. It's a pity that the application period for the examinations will be over by then. However, if you are interested in GAP, please visit us on November 22nd from 10:30 a.m. Also, November 22nd is actually the first day of Toride Geisai, which is the university festival at the Toride Geisai. We will announce more details on the GAP website as the date gets closer. That session is a great opportunity to see where the students create their own work, what kind of facilities they can use, they are using, and what they are making. So yeah, be sure to check it out. So let's move on the entrance exam. GAP holds entrance examination twice a year, but the academic year always starts in April. GAP has one exam around August to September in 2025, and another one around January to February in 2026. The August exam, period 1, is for international applicants, and the January exam, period 2, is for those who already have a residence card in Japan. The reason GAP separates the exam is so that we can start the April curriculum with as many students as possible. GAP set up period 1 exam because the process of getting a certificate of eligibility and a visa can often take several months. it's not mandatory for applicants without a residence card to take the period 1 exam, but we highly recommend it. So yeah, the student can start the program together in April. This session for the international applicants who would like to apply for period 1. Firstly, I'd like to explain where can you find the application guideline for this year, and I will explain the contents, including answers to some of the questions we received in advance via the inquiry form. But please note that some questions cannot be answered in order to ensure a fair admissions process. Today, Tokyo University of the Art, TUA for short, published the guideline of the period 1 entrance examination for 2026 academic year. It was uploaded on TUA admission website. Let's click and please check it out. When you get to this page, you will see that it brings together entrance exam information from various departments across the university. Please go ahead the graduate student in application procedure. And please move on to Fine Art section. Then you can find the application guideline of GAP in this page like this. GAP has 3 types of guidelines. Let me explain each of them briefly, one by one. The first one is for period 1, MFA entrance examination for international student administered August to September 2025. The second one is for period 2, the examination administered January to February 2026. And the last one is for doctoral course, the examination administered January to February 2026. One important point to note is that the application guidelines for period 2 and the doctoral course will be published in the middle of July. It means they are not available yet. There's no difference in the screening contents or process between period 1 and 2. The only difference is when it takes place. Like I said earlier, it's not mandatory, but if you're expecting to apply for visa after passing the examination, we strongly recommend taking period 1. So this is the guideline for the period 1 examination. Basically, as long as you read through the application guideline carefully before applying, you should be fine. But I'll point out a few important things to keep in mind. Let's talk about what you need to submit first. You need to submit this application to Tokyo University of the Arts via URL in the guideline. The application period is from 25th July to 1st of August. Late submission won't be accepted under any circumstance, so please make sure to read the guidelines carefully and submit everything by the deadline. There were a lot of inquiry-related recommendation letters and certificate of English language ability, so that I'll answer as much as I'm allowed to. Sorry, there is many text, but yeah, it is all text from a guideline. All applicants must submit recommendation letters from 2 recommenders through the application site. And on the application site, please enter the recommender's name, belong to institution, and email address. The email address must also be included in the recommendation letter itself. The original recommendation letter must be mailed to the academic educational affairs section of TUA during the enrollment procedures. Failure to submit the original letters may result in the cancellation of enrollment, and the recommendation letters accepted only in English or Japanese. If it will be written in other languages and need to be translated to Japanese or English, please contact the administration office in advance via email. The application period is quite short, so please contact with your referees or recommenders as soon as possible. This is a general guideline for submitting the recommendation letters. Right now, there is no system for referees to submit their letters directly through this university, so we require applicants to submit them themselves, yourselves. However, if your referee's institution has a strict policy that doesn't allow recommendation letters to be handed directly to the applicant, please contact Educational Affairs section through this email address in advance before the application period starts. As long as everything stays on schedule, the administration office can consider these cases individually. Next is about certificate of English language ability. All applicants must submit certificate score from TOEFL IBT or IELTS Academic. Please keep in mind that TOEFL PBT, ITP, and IELTS General Training are not accepted. The TOEFL IBT Home Edition is accepted same as the regular TOEFL IBT. You need to ask ETS to send your official score report directly to Tokyo University of the Art. And the institution code is B882. And test taker score report will be not accepted. If you expect that your certified score won't arrive at Tokyo University of the Art within the application period, make sure to email to the office in advance and ask for guidance. I'd like to answer one of the frequently asked questions related to this. The question was whether GAP sets a minimum required English score. Okay, GAP doesn't set a minimum required score, actually. However, your score will be reviewed as part of your application documents. And we require applicants to have daily communication skills in English, since GAP classes are basically conducted in English. And I'd like to answer about the other question related to legislation. There was a question asking if the examination fee is refundable or not. Once your application documents have been received, the fee cannot be refunded. And if you plan to apply again next year, you will need to pay the examination fee for that year. You can find more details about this in the guideline, so please make sure to check them. Okay, So what happens after registration and after TUA receives your application documents? The examination has 2 stages. First is preliminary examination and second is final examination. GAP will send the details about the final examination only to those who pass the preliminary stage. So now I'd like to explain a bit more details about the preliminary examination, the first stage. GAP will send an email to accepted applicants with a link to upload the required document, and you must upload them in the period from 25th to 27th August. It is part of the preliminary examination, as I said. All applicants need to submit a portfolio. It should be in A4 size, up to 20 pages, and in PDF format. The file size must be under 25 megabyte. We won't be able to answer the question about what kind of portfolio to prepare, including details like resolution. For optional supplementary materials, you can submit up to 5 files from the optional like listed. The options are video, audio, and printed material. Please be sure to follow the rules for each, as explained in the guideline. If the file cannot be downloaded or opened from the specified provided by GAP, they will not be included in the review. Again, we won't be able to answer the questions about what kind of materials to prepare. For the optional self-introduction video, please keep it under 2 minutes. It doesn't need to be high resolution. The filming casually with a digital camera, computer, or smartphone is totally fine. And this video is optional, but it can help GAP get to know you better. Okay, let's go over the schedule for period 1. Application deadline is from 25th July to 1st August. And after TUA receives your application documents, GAP will send an email to accepted applicants with a link to upload the required document. This period is from 25th to 17th August, and then the preliminary examination will be held by portfolio evaluation. The result will be announced on 8th September. By 6 p.m. on the same day, GAP will send an email to applicants who passed, inviting them to the final examination. It's an online interview. The interview will take place sometimes between 10th and 11th September, and the final result will be announced on 28th September. The examination was set for international applicants who don't have Japanese residence card yet. They need to reply a COE for residence status at Tokyo University of the Art, and it takes up to 3 months from the announcement of admission result. If you already have Japanese residence card, you can register for examination period 2. Yes. So we've now finished the master's program entrance exam briefing. Before registering for the exam, please make sure to read the guideline and check the GAP website. If you still have questions after checking those, feel free to contact us at this email address. So yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for joining this session. That's all the guidance for JP examination.